My name is Cruz, and this is my exhibition titled Lips of 1,996 Teachers. I guess my first impulse to do this project was to try to find a relationship with Sudbury, because it was a history that was unknown to me. And so my first idea was to make a documentary, but knowing that I only had a little bit of time, it had to be somewhat a kind of pseudo-documentary. So my approach was to try to glean information in different ways, whether that be through the internet or through books or through people's stories. So in a way, it's kind of a gathering of information using unorthodox ways. The first work that I created was a collage. Medium of collage has been an important approach in my practice, this notion of layering. And that became the impetus of also layering videos, layering projections, layering stories, and at the same time mining the gallery's archive in the basement as another form of collage, but more like a sculptural assemblage. So yeah, if you come to see the exhibition, you will see this mural of the Sudbury Wolves, which is something that I was also interested in, was like trying to understand the aesthetics of the city. And then you will see the assemblage of objects, and then the video pieces, which consists of Google images of Sudbury, and my own photographs going around, getting lost around the city, and videos of other people who also tried to document the city, like the Inco Tower and Science North's videos of the meteor hitting this area.
Well, hello, Patrick. With a belly full of your tremendous food.
And the audio component of the stories that we exchange through cooking food. And the way I thought about it is that food is an important medium that holds a lot of history. And food is always a way to connect with people. So in the same way that I did that project here in Sudbury, it's also kind of creating a portrait, a small portrait of a community, by allowing knowledge to be transformed through food. So the food and the knowledge becomes the currency of this transaction. The different histories that are intersecting. And for me, I see my role as just kind of facilitating these things to happen in the same space. Not necessarily creating anything new. I'm just perhaps situating these pieces in one platform. There's barely any kind of structure other than I know that I'm doing a documentary about Sudbury, but there's so much room for play. I guess with a method of improvisation, it's not entirely out of nothing. It still has to come from an idea and a structure. So the way I tried to develop it was whatever elements I would encounter along the way, I would kind of pick and choose which element can go in. In the same way how I mined the basement was choosing what materials could fit in the installation. So I think there's a lot of negotiation, constant negotiation, and also trying to understand what I could share that maybe is interesting to the public as well. And in the same vein, I think the strategy of improvisation is very much aligned to a kind of decolonial strategy where there's no sense of mastery or sense of, what do you call this, like a kind of professionalism that is always expected. And it's a way to resist that by allowing chance, by allowing play to emerge. Go, wolves, go. We'll edit this, right?